breaking news.
We are following this breaking news tonight. An officer-involved shooting in Orlando. The police chief says his officers tried to pull someone over, but that driver opened fire before the officers could even get out of their vehicle. That's when police say the suspect drove off and eventually crashed. We have live team coverage for you tonight.
Fox 35's Dave Puglisi is live at the scene, but we start with Connor Hansen. Connor, what's the police chief saying about the shootout?
Well, Ray, it sounds like this was a traffic stop gone wrong, and officers are still out here. You can see them right behind me, blocking off the intersection of Arch Street and Mercy. We're just a couple blocks away from the actual scene there. You can see when we zoom in, Police Chief Orlando Rolón did come out to give us an update on what he knows so far. He told us 2 officers were in an unmarked car. When a man sped past them, they turned on their police lights to pull him over. When the chief says the man started shooting at the officers before they could even get out of their car. When those officers returned fire, they say the man got back in his car and sped off before he crashed. The chief tells us the officers tried to help the man before he was taken to the hospital. He says a gun was found in the car. We asked the chief if he knows of any motive here. Other than a traffic stop, any idea what the motive might have been of open fire on these officers?
No, that is the, of course, it's early in the investigation. Hopefully they'll be able to gather more information. We have not done a thorough search of the car. That will be part of the process. What the reason the individual had for opening fire on the officers, at this point we don't know.
And the chief did not have a lot of information on how badly injured that suspect is right now in the hospital. He tells us the 2 officers are okay. Reporting live in Orlando, Connor Hansen, Fox 35 News.
Connor, thank you. Our live team coverage continues with Fox 35's Dave Puglisi. Dave, the scene keeps changing every minute. What's it look like now?
Well, right now it looks like they're trying to tow this car away. You can see them strapping it down to a flatbed and moving it out of here. This car, if you look close enough, has some bullet holes in the back of its trunk, windows blown out. Earlier, we watched as police investigated this scene, taking pictures of it. Actually, right here, you could see them laying down dirt to try to pick up some of the oils from underneath that car that were surely left behind after it went over this curb, crashed into a wall, and ended up right about by that telephone pole. Now, we know that, according to some witnesses, they tell me that the driver of this car was slumped over in the front seat for quite some time before being taken to the hospital. Otherwise, witnesses all have different ideas of what happened here, but the latest now over the last hour is most people are just frustrated. They want Mercy Drive back open so that they can get home. Most of them now having to walk at least a mile just to get back to their house, so they just want this whole scene to be cleared up. But the good news for them is there's only a few officers left here compared to the last hour, and hopefully things will be wrapping up here soon. But again, this whole investigation having to do with that car right there. But that's the latest here in Orlando. Dave Puglisi, Fox 35 News.